Well, I actually didn't really have a choice in the matter. I was kind of born into the business. My father was an actor, Robert Clarke, who was like king of the B horror flick in the 1950s. The Hideous Sun Demon, Man from Planet X. My mom was a singer, one of the King sisters, which for you young people was kind of like the Andrews sisters. And the King sisters later had a television series called The King Family, which included all of us kids. And that we did a pilot in 1964, and then started on the air with the series on ABC yeah, that was in the summer of '64, and then the series started in the winter of '65. And just never learned how to do anything else. Went to art school in Los Angeles for a while after a little stint at college. And then when they wouldn't give me a scholarship, I said, well, forget this. I'm going to go make a living instead. And started doing voiceovers, which was kind of an accident. And never looked back. And never really pursued. No, I take that back. An on-camera career never pursued me. Well, like I said, spent my youth on television with the King family, singing and dancing and traveling around the country with my family, performing in live theaters and things. But as an adult, all of my time has been spent doing voiceover work. Cartoon-wise, Robotech was actually the first series that I was involved with, and then one of the most successful shows I was with was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was Leonardo in that, Blue Mask, and also Rocksteady, who was one of the villains. One of my favorite roles was a couple of goofy little characters in a show called Eek the Cat. I played the Squishy Bears, which was a takeoff on the what were they called? The Care Bears.
And one had this goofy little voice like this.
Another one had this dumb voice, and we just lampooned the heck out of the Care Bears, or yeah, the Care Bears, right? And the Tick was probably one of my favorites, playing Deflator Mouse, who was a superhero, that was in love with his own shadow, but scared to death to do any crime fighting. So that was a real blast. Uh, when I first started working on Robotech, I was pretty green as an animation actor, um, and I had some prototypes from famous actors, things like that, that I used to draw upon characters. John Travolta, Sylvester Stallone, and a little guy, Matthew Broderick, who has done quite well for himself. And he was kind of the basis for my vocal choices for Max Sterling. However, as a lot of you know, with anime coming from Japan, it has been voiced for the first time in Japanese, and so we as English-speaking actors aren't free dramatically to create characters as we might when we're doing American projects, where we're free to record the script first and then they animate to us. So it gets kind of tricky to uh, get both worlds together, the acting nuances as well as the technical part of making English words fit into drawings that were drawn to Japanese language. I can't I can't remember back that far. How did we? Golly, how did I know Robotech was getting popular? Um, well, I knew that there were toys. I was on TV all the time, and anybody that was probably too small to ride this ride watched the show, and yeah, Cam, are you on the show? It sounds just like you. And oh, it's my favorite show. And being that I just it was on the street, man. I heard it on the street. It was a hit. I can honestly say no. I've never wanted to be a fighter or a pilot. However, for my 16th birthday, when my family was on the road, we were in some little town out in the Midwest, and some guy had gone to see our show, and I guess on stage that night we announced that it was my birthday, and he had this old like stormtrooper plane, and he said, for your birthday, if you guys have any time, would love to take you up. And I got to tell you, that was a blast. I felt like Snoopy and the Red Baron in an open cockpit, doing loop-de-loops and loop-de-loops. What is it? Loop-de-loops and corkscrews. Uh, it was a blast. Goggles and leather jacket, the whole bit. As close as I need to get to being a fighter or a pilot. Do I play video games? That's kind of like the story about the shoemaker's children having no shoes. I do all this work in video games like Metal Gear Solid, which I was told was a big hit, and I do not. I kind of went kicking and screaming into the 20th century, let alone into the 21st. I only got a computer this last fall, my first time, and I mean, when I was a kid growing up, they didn't have them. And as an adult, I've just never got into playing games myself, but I've certainly enjoyed working on them, and all the people that we've met working on the shows, the various actors, sometimes working with television stars or movie stars, but playing them, I don't think I have the dexterity needed for my thumbs don't move like that.